Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Today it is my pleasure to be here with beautiful Aureya for another episode of Enlightenment Essentials. And today we are talking about how you'd go about integrating beautiful frequency upgrades that we are all having at the moment during this massive time of ascension. And in a sense, exactly as we were saying before, it is why I've called my TV show Ascension TV because we are in that process now. And I know for sure I've had symptoms that you might call flu and you might call this and the other, but I do feel that very much it's part of that ascension progress process. So, Aureya, welcome back. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Caroline. Really good to be with you and with all of you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you. Because that's it, isn't it? It's all for you. And I know that every time I do a call with you and the other beautiful guests I have, I'm just like, it's things that I kind of feel I know, and then we all forget, and we need the little reminders to come back. We're practicing because a lot of us we didn't get brought up with this language. So we're all here helping one another and sharing. So what are we going to cover today, Aureya? We're going to talk about ascension, hey, and what that actually means, and then give some tools so that you at home can, and me, I'm definitely going to be learning here as well, that we can really help stabilize our energies as more and more energy comes to Earth. So yeah, Rhea, take it away.
Okay, I'm going to give my definition of ascension
Great.
and then just kind of roll it with, the basic tools. And I really have been teaching this forever. When I was thinking about it this morning, I was like, oh, I love to talk about this. I could talk about this for hours. So ascension means that you have given the go, you've somehow had a clear intention that, oh, okay, I'm going on this journey of waking up. And we often have a period that kind of tricks us into it by our soul, really sending a lot of magical connections, and we get intrigued and we get hooked and we start on our path. Or some people start by having physical illness or things that push you to pay attention to the self.
Yeah.
But then once you've got that intention, you're calling for enlightenment, you're calling to be of service, you're calling for spiritual community, then more light starts coming in, basically, into our crown chakra from our higher self. And what it does is it moves into the center of the chakras. And so for a long time during ascension work, we're bouncing between ahas, like, oh, I can feel myself, or oh, I feel joy for the first time, or oh, here's my open heart, or oh, my third chakra is finally relaxing from pushing myself to death, or oh my God, I can feel the earth. So we are having these uh
Like epiphanies almost,
yes,
mystical moments.
yes, and then it makes some space. All that upgrade of light makes some space.
Yeah.
And then where does that light go? The light hits the ego structures. So
Mhm.
I'm going to use this little stone for a minute as an ego structure. So let's imagine that this ego structure is sitting in my throat chakra.
Mhm.
So this is a way that I decided that I better show up, or I wouldn't fit in my family, or I wouldn't fit in my profession, or I wouldn't fit in my social group. So here's a way of being maybe funny, or maybe serious, or maybe shy, or so here's a structure. And so the light's coming in, it's getting wider. The sushumna, or core, literally is getting wider, and
Mhm.
it's going in the very center of the core. There are no ego structures. It's pure light from our essence, or
Mhm.
from our soul. But then out right outside that sit these structures. So the light is getting wider, it's starting to hit into the structure. So then what happens? We've all been through this. We get the repetitive thought or the repetitive behavior,
Yeah.
the repetitive posture we're noticing that's really stiff.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah, um,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, the repetitive protection mechanism that we're
Hmm.
really sick of,
Hmm.
the repetitive childlike behavior that doesn't feel like our real self,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it starts to, play on the record. And then what happens is we get to go, the light gets into the center where the consciousness is. That is why we took on this karma, this ego, it's because
Yeah.
we want to learn something, right? And so it finally gets conscious enough that we start to have the ahas. It's like, oh, I, when I was younger, I was really loud because no one ever listened to me. And my one of my best friends would say, Aureya, you're being so loud. I still am out like that sometimes. And
Yeah.
it's like, right. So what was really in that was, I was going to be a teacher. So I really wanted to get conscious of my voice,
Mm.
so there's a gift
Oh,
in
I
any
love that.
karmic structure that we take on. There's a gift for us. And then usually us bigger light beings have taken on some of the doozies that plague the earth, our addictions, our codependence, maybe our extreme type of emotion, or, something that we've taken. And then as that light goes in and we're learning about it,
Yeah.
we uh, yeah, like I had, so we just call it some boundary violations in my childhood. And I, as I started to look at it, I taught myself and started to see what relationship cords are like, and that you're always learning something, that you're not a victim of it, that you made an agreement.
Yeah.
And so when these bigger lessons come, and we as light beings unfold them and get the magic out of them, get the spiritual skills and understanding, then that goes with our light global. It goes global. It goes out to
Yes.
collective consciousness.
I love that. And
Yeah,
would you say, Ray, on that that is why often when I shift something, because I exactly what you've said, I've felt that in so many parts, and then you suddenly go, oh, da 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 da, and then suddenly you're seeing it all around you. It's like everyone's
exactly.
talking about the same thing, and you're like, oh, okay then. Because I had a lot of yeah, I would say I took on quite a lot of challenges as a young as a soul for this life so that I could learn. But you have to do the turnarounds, otherwise you're just in the stuff. So I've one of my things is people love to say, oh, you're so this and you're so this, and it's like, stop it, like stop telling me, I know, like I'm me. But one of the things what I was learning is well, sorry, there was two points that were coming out there. One is that I learned at 18, I pointed something out to my brother and he looked crestfallen, and ever since I was like, never say anything. You might think and observe of somebody, but just do not say it because it kills somebody. It's so hurtful to receive something they're not ready for, or. And I have had a lot of it back. So, there's some pattern in that. But what I was going to say is, when I was writing the book, okay, I kind of downloaded a lot of the book, and I hadn't done a lot of reading around healing, ascension, nothing. It was something I knew in my heart, but not something I'd activated into my world. And then really quickly after I'd written the book, because there's a big chapter, and it's about trauma, and it's about past life trauma, integrating childhood trauma, and your lineage's trauma. And then suddenly, everywhere in the world, I was seeing books on trauma, and like Gabor Mate, everyone's talking about, and suddenly it was really loud. Everyone's talking about trauma, 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 and I was like, huh. I didn't even read I didn't even read it, but yeah, it's like I activated that in my world, and then obviously I was tuning in to that wisdom, I suppose. So would you say
Yes.
that's why that phenomena happens? It's like you just tune into another layer of wisdom, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. And that you, Caroline Mary, chose to be a healer of trauma for the planet and to talk about it.
Mm.
And, to give the learning from that and all the sweetness that you've learned, self-compassion and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go on about how it works. Yeah. So the light is teeter-tottering between opening us into more of who we really are, and we're experiencing the beauty. And then there's this really tremendous, as it goes along, ego dissolution. It's just crumbling through us. And so this, where's my rock? So what happens to this? Well, it's just made of ideas and experiences and memories, and in the center of it, our own consciousness. And then as it dissolves, we don't need it anymore. We got the lesson. So then that consciousness is magnetized, is absorbed back into the chakra where that ego structure uh, came to be. And so then, I'm just as a silly example, let's say if that was what I call a doozy, which is a karma from you've had from many lives,
Right.
you really wanted to learn about it and you really wanted to give it as a gift to the planet. So let's just say my throat chakra was this wide, and then when all the light of that doozy, then, now the real Aureya throat chakra starts to arrive. And there's enough room that my soul can use that, not in a fixed structure where I'm always trying to run some pattern out of fear,
Yeah.
and protection. But now with the width, there's the channel, the momentary wisdom for this moment, and
Mm.
then for the next person who comes along and the next moment. And yeah, so that's enlightenment.
I love that. Yeah, more light, right? Enlightenment with light, right? On
Yeah.
like it's with, isn't it? It's just more and more light. So it's a process. And I know maybe when we were talking before we started, I kind of quipped because I remember when I had my big like flash. I mean, I had one as a child when I was 7, and I was like, God, and then I had another one in uni, a few, situations where I was like, oh yeah, here we go again, the light. And it was like the hook going, and I kind of was almost like, well, that's it. It wasn't like I'm enlightened and therefore I'm special, but the feeling I had certainly when I was in uni was, I know the love of God. It felt so profound. And I was like, there's nothing else that can I've put my hand up inadvertently with the God. um, it was almost like that is the highest state of feeling. It was like nothing on earth can ever replace that feeling. But little did I know I would come down to earth with a bump and have that like integrate, download so many times, right? And that led me to add the chapter in the book why you need to integrate your spiritual awakening, because otherwise you're like, yeah, la la la. And it is, people have said in the past, they're like, it's like you're God drunk, and it wasn't grounded, it wasn't integrated. And of course, all of the lessons then that's where we composting the light and really doing the work. So yeah, bless my younger self.
Yeah. Well, I call that the pink cloud period, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so necessary. I mean, that's the
Yes.
period where we remember that beautiful feeling of being in the oneness, and
Yeah.
that our devotion towards God comes back.
Mm.
And we need all that, excitement and devotion to then sit through the ego dissolution
Hmm. Yeah.
because it is no picnic.
Yes. And actually, when you say that, that's so true because I know when I've had, oh God, you're in the thick of it and you're just like, what the heck? There's that chink of memory of light, I know within kind of mental health spheres, it's a big, oh, will that person, take their own life if they're really on the edge of that uncomfortable feeling? And even though I've been in that place of just like, this is so hard, it's like I would never do it because I always have had the feeling of the other life. I've always had the sense that I'm here for a reason and this is da, da, and it just keeps that thread going, and I fear my heart goes out to people that are potentially having the same thing happen and that dissolution because the light comes, but they didn't have the conscious awareness as to why that's happening, which is of course why I wrote the book and do the things I do, because it's like I just, God would not, would wish that no one would have to go through that alone. But it's we're all on the journey, aren't we? So right, yeah, it's that keeps the faith, isn't it? Having that big deluge of it, it's like keeps you going through the tough times for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps you find, hopefully it helps you find um, a, some goodness in yourself, that you believe in, and, that you want to, um, yeah, connect up, with your spirit.
Mm.
So I'm going to now just go for some skills,
Thanks.
some basics,
Yeah.
right? So I'm talking about the energy drawing into the core. And the more light we have in the core, the more we're identifying with our, we call it our God self, or our higher self, or our love self. And then when we're getting stuck into one of this, the ego fear based, we have, I often tell people that when you're in one of those aha love moments, write yourself a love note and put it in your sock drawer because then you'll be in again where you start to believe in the dark, it's going to get you, and that the fear can be so grueling. So that light drawing in, these are skills to strengthen that, right? So one of the ones that is timeless is meditation. And a lot of people can't sit in the stillness with a quiet mind yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, better to have something to do. And so these are things to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to remember that what our goal is to feel energetically the light that we are, to feel it in your energy system. And that consciousness is what will help you stay present, remember your God self, and let it expand and not get caught up in the identification of the ego's structures as they're focused on by the light. When there's a strong focus, boy, we have that feeling like, one step forward, eight steps back. Like, am I ever going to finish this?
Yes.
Um, yeah. So in the learning to sit, a, a really simple but so useful tool is an energetic figure eight. So if you put the center of the figure eight, in the center of one of your chakras, or I've been doing it actually in my neck vertebra because one of them was out for a little bit. Anywhere you put that, you're drawing the light from your, right side and your left side, but also your masculine energy and your feminine energy.
Mm.
And you will not be able to sit in the center if those two are not balanced in
Mm.
any part of you.
Mm.
You will get just pulled into the energy of one without the other.
Right.
Yeah. So if we have masculine without feminine, we've got moving our energy out, you know, action,
Mm.
focus out, doing, and which is great. Thinking and planning and doing makes the world go around. But we all know what burnout feels like, or over pushing, or over mental. Fear-based doing gets the best of us. And so it needs to be balanced then with the soft and the receptive. So the receptive from the earth, the nourishment, the receptive from the spirit, the feminine, the more expansive, I should say, chakras, the heart, the second chakra, filling in and the flow of that. So, yeah, really highly recommend.
Mm.
Maybe we'll do it for a moment. Why doesn't everybody go to their heart? You can put a hand just anywhere in your chest. The personal heart chakra is really between the breasts. And putting our hands on our body is another really great skill. The right hand will help you. If you're right-handed, the right hand, or if you're left-handed, the left hand, the dominant hand will bring a focus. So feel your hand on your body and feel the energy where your hand meets the body. And then just really absorb yourself deeper behind your hand. That will be the heart chakra. And you can notice which side the energy wants to draw to first. And that will be where you are most conscious. And so for me, the energy is drawing over to the left. So I'm going to make a left, and you want to go, at least 3 inches, if not a whole foot, from the very center. You want to go out, and it's as if you're sort of saying hi to that part of you, and then drawing that back into the center. And you take a breath there in the center, let things settle, and you go on out to the other side. And make a loop and bring that part of you back into the center. And as you get more conscious in any area, that figure eight will go faster. So it's interesting to watch how slow or how fast. And sometimes the loop will go faster on your more conscious side and then kind of slower on your less conscious side. So it's kind of fun to watch these figure eights. But it's a really strong healing to help you feel more balanced and more present.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, since we're in the heart, let's do a couple more things with the heart.
Okay.
So, a lot of people want to know, how do I open my heart? And the heart needs two things to open, and I'll say them quickly and then we'll do a little bit of them. But one is the heart needs to receive from spirit, and the heart needs to receive from the earth to feel safe.
Right.
Right. So a lot of people have what I call a crown cap, and it's a little density up here because they're afraid to go up. Why would someone be afraid to go up? Well, some people are afraid that if they let go of the grounding, they'll just disappear because they're so full of light that they won't be able to keep the earth self.
Okay.
But most people have some issue with what I would call God. It's usually a past life where they've done something wrong, and they project onto God or spirit that they're no longer loved, no
Mm.
longer wanted, no longer accepted.
Mm.
So that's a reason why people, and also people have that kind of through the shoulders often, just an inability to open, to the oneness.
Mm.
There's kind of a hiding, and if you look under it often, it's, a wrongdoer, idea.
Mhm.
So we want to, if you have this strongly, get some help from somebody who's good at remembering that there isn't anyone that's not fully loved and accepted, you know, at a spiritual level. And it's really good to dissolve that crown cap. One other reason people have it is if they've come from very high dimensions into the earth,
Hmm.
uh, they they want to stay down in the human and learn the human lessons, try to be a human, and it keeps you in. And
Mm.
then you'll find, people with a lot of light, sometime in the teens or the 20s, will pop back.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I had a little 12-year-old. I was doing a little psychic reading for her, and I saw that her psychic skills were opening. And I said to her, "You've been wondering if you want to be psychic or if you want to just be a child for a little while longer." She's like, "How did you know that?" Anyway,
Oh,
so sometimes kids will really hold off from their light, just to learn, absorb more humanity.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah. So back to the heart.
Yeah.
A way to open the heart is to make that connect.
Mm.
And I often um, say the relational path works pretty well. If you pick some avatar, you know, in the Magdalene tradition, that would be Yeshua or one of the Marys. But it could be Buddha, it could be Babaji in the Indian traditions, it could be Kuan Yin, it could be anyone that you have a feeling that, oh, I think I love them. And then you literally call them in and they will come. And if they don't get there right away, one of your personal guides will stand in for a little bit. But that frequency of that being will eventually come to you. And my prayer that worked for me is to say to this being, help me receive your love.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then, that being will cajole you and play with you and make you laugh and, who knows, put you in yoga postures. We don't know exactly what will happen, but they will assist you to remember love.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a spiritual way. And then the earth energies, are harder, but we can't download, we can't let these upper chakras get really big. Everyone wants to be intuitive, right? Well, how do you do that? How do you get so your higher self uh, is tangible to you in these upper chakras? How do you hear your guides? Well, that width has to be supported by the width of the lower chakras. It's
Yeah.
it's like a tree, right? We need the first, second, third to have a lot of light. So we have to open
Mm.
those ankles and open the bottoms of the feet, sit on the earth, all those good things. And some people don't remember that the earth is a conscious being. So we can talk to it. We literally, if we're here on the earth, our soul literally has a conscious contract with the earth beings. There's always a twin soul couple that holds the consciousness of a planet. So we know them, they love us, and they would like to be reconnected. So you can go down there, you can make a connect, you can ask for support. There's lots of ways. So mostly we want to get that light moving up, and the meridians on the front of the body, inner legs in front of the body, help bring that light up. And then we just hold our heart and just imagine. I like to think of a nest, like a bird's nest, just coming up around my heart that has, seaweed in it. And I'm an ocean girl. So, like lots of yummy earth magic uh, that, helps my heart basically drop into the earth energy to be fed, to be nurtured, and mostly to feel safe. That's what all the chakras need to
Mm.
open. So they need to feel
Yes.
safe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, such
Good.
a key ingredient, I think, isn't it? Because I've
Yeah.
often likened, actually, I write about in the book actually that when we're like pre-awakening, if we're living in fear or around fear or challenge, we're like a clenched lotus, and then bit by bit we open, and then it's like the never-ending opening. But before then, we're this, and I think, myself included, to a degree, but like I always knew there was another me that was an older bit of me. You can think that that's you, and then that's why it can be so confusing when, I think people soften, and then you're like, why am I feeling so crappy? Because it's like when you're in this, you can't feel, you're just in the got to do what I got to do. And certainly for me, the last few years, I've been very blessed in where I live and who I'm around, and that safety has happened. And then all the feelings and all the things start moving, don't they? So I think it cannot be underestimated, the safety and the need. So like if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I'm kind of drawing away from some people, and like I stopped going to parties and socializing because it was too much. I just needed that silence. So I just spend time in nature, and even if it's raining, I might drive somewhere and just be, because it was like letting my whole system practice what it felt like for safety. So feels kind of an important thing to say there somehow.
Yes. Yeah, I learned to say that fear equals not being connected to the earth,
Yeah.
like literally. Like
Yeah.
if your root chakra is open to the pulse, the rhythm of the planet, you're okay. You know you're okay.
Yeah.
But if you, and all of us have done this, get so spun that we basically lift up out of our lower chakras,
Yeah.
usually all the way out, or maybe a lot of people live heart up only or throat up only, and that's a very fearful life. Like we need our root chakra connection,
Yeah.
and then we feel safe. And when the heart, back to the heart, when the heart is safe and it opens, then we have humor.
Yeah.
If you wonder where your humor is, it's
Right.
because your heart doesn't feel safe yet.
Yes, I got you. I so can
Yeah.
see that, because I can be very silly with some people, and then if I get a trigger, and then it's like, oh, because that ego construct has kicked in, it's like, no, there's no humor here. It's like,
Right.
I'm sure I used to be funny, or be after laugh. So yeah, I
Yeah.
see you. I see
Yeah.
you with that.
When I was back in that very stuck in the ego, I noticed I had a self-pity story. And I
Mhm.
think everybody has one. And mine was I didn't have enough relatives, basically, something like that. I was all alone. And I started to be able to listen to it and get it that it was a story and get that there was a much softer and sweeter truth under it. And so as I went along, I started to be able to laugh when I started running my story. And so then as I went along and I could notice that I would get gripped, I would always say to myself, can you laugh?
Mm.
And if I couldn't laugh, I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah, got to do some work then. Got to do some
Yeah,
healing
yeah.
or
You
some
better
ground.
go sit on a rock, girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I really get you with that. And the other thing, I just want to say on the safety, fear, and the ground, because essentially, in a way, you're kind of talking about grounding, isn't it? Because as soon as we touch, and we can feel that steadiness, to me, I see the energy can flow down. And I feel like one of the big symptoms of ascension that people have maybe not aware and put the two together, that if you've got a kink, I call it like a kink in the hose, well, with one of those lower chakras, your energy can't ground, and you will start feeling that frenetic energy. And I know when I had my awakenings, I want to stop saying when I got section. No, when I had my awakenings, which led to that, I was very in that heightened energy. So I was having the downloads, having these amazing experiences, but I wasn't able. It was like there was too many kinks in my lower energy, so the energy was just bouncing, and I wasn't sleeping. I really couldn't sleep. And I remember the time that I I had another wave, a gentler wave years later, and I was like, oh, hang on, something's happening here. And I took control. I actually went to a whole food shop, and they said, oh, have some vervain and it will calm your system. But actually, of course, now it's just, oh yeah, put the roots down, go and breathe out and do that. And you just never have that frenetic energy, do you? Then it's so, yes, it's about feeling safe, and that helps the heart. But if you're watching this again and thinking, oh well, that is another symptom that I think I feel like a lot of people don't understand the simplicity of that, and not then feeling the frazzledness, or not, I can't sleep because it's a full moon. Just put your roots down and that goes, because you're just plugging yourself in, isn't it, both ends kind of thing. So yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah, and I also just want to say, in regards to grounding, you can put your hands on the earth.
mm,
That will take some of the excess
yeah.
fuzz out of your aura in your upper
Mhm.
body.
Yeah.
You can do what I call the pancake. You can do 10 minutes on your belly and 10 minutes on your back,
Oh,
on a
I love
cotton
that.
blanket on the earth. And
Yeah,
that will draw so much of the density off of
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And also, I've had it when I'm kind of in between calls or something, and there's a park outside, and it's not that quiet. It's not my ideal nature space, but I go and touch a tree, and so much of it's just gone. It's like, thank you. And I've even had a tree say to me, and I was saying this on the call earlier, to take a leaf and just put it on my face, because the energy is so different. It was just, that was grounding. I guess that was that safety. And then you start relaxing, and then all your energy starts doing its thing, right? Because we don't always have to control energy, but we do need to make that choice of connect, and then our energy can just start flowing again, isn't it, in a way? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're leaning into that oneness frequency that's in the plants and in the animals. Yeah. I was on the beach yesterday, and I was remembering in my childhood walking on the beach. I'd always pick up a little piece of that bright green algae or a tiny shell or a little tiny stone. I'd put it in my mouth.
Okay.
And it was just that, that ocean frequency, it helped me.
Right,
Yeah.
gosh, that makes sense. Because it's funny, isn't it? You can kind of imagine people, oh, my child, it's eating earth or a rock, and you think, yeah, but why? It's probably because it's trying to find that safety and that
Yeah.
frequency that maybe it's not quite getting at home or in the house. I think modern times, no matter who you're around, because there's all the Wi-Fi and everything, isn't it? So,
Yes, which
yeah.
I just want to put a plug in. Everyone's going to learn this eventually, but turn your Wi-Fi off at least while you're sleeping, and
Mm,
mostly, you know, when you're not using it, turn it off because it really does frazzle our nervous systems. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I want to say one more thing about the heart,
Mm,
which is it's our um, it's our connection to that oneness and to the love that is the healing frequency. It's our main connection, our heart. So once we find it and can feel it, we want to use that to heal the rest of us. So if you have, something that's off in your body, a disease, an injury, you send your heart to it. And if you have an organ that's having a hard time, you send your heart energy to it. And the color of the heart is green, and the color of the earth is green. And that color, that green, literally heals the cells.
mm.
So let's all do this, just a minute of green. So you can imagine that you're absorbing this from the earth, or if you can feel your heart, you can go deep in your heart. And I'm going to send mine into all of my cells, but you can send yours to, an emotional issue you have, or, you know, uh, any difficulty in your body. So just breathing from the earth, green, 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 breathing from your heart, sweetness, love, tenderness, and then imagining it going where you want and Imagine that issue, that body part, those cells absorbing, and that light saturating in, that green light saturating in. And it will make a frequency. It will do that frequency upgrade into or towards love. So take a few breaths with that, and reminding us that whenever we have a frequency upgrade, whenever more light goes in, oh, there's a density that releases. And where does that density go? It goes to the dense part of our world, which is the actual planet, the actual Earth. So let's take some breaths and just tell your body, I'm releasing anything I don't need. I'm releasing anything I don't need. Just imagine it just goes down. It's like a great energetic fertilizer for the earth. Yeah. And then go back to that body part or issue or cells and just be present with it. Say thank you. Thank you for upgrading. Thank you for receiving light. Good. And so whenever you're in an upgrade, there's a couple things that will help to integrate that. One is rhythm. So just imagine right now, wherever you are, you rock a little in your chair, you tap your foot. Just find a soothing rhythm and just notice that will help you let go, it'll help you relax, help you soften, because it creates safety.
Mm.
The earth has a beat, has a circadian rhythm. Our heartbeats have a beat. When we were in utero, our mother's heartbeat was there.
Mm.
Our blood carries that beat. So
Love it.
any beat will unwind you to the best that you can get unwound in the moment.
Mm.
And we just want to breathe with that. We just want to take in the new, release the old. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, so let's go back to the figure eight for a moment. Just
Mm.
ask your body for a place that you want to put your hands. Might be your belly or your throat. And imagine that figure eight is working with the rhythm. It's just smoothing your energy out. Yeah, good. And let's use our right hand again at the sacred heart this time, the upper chest. So, the sacred heart, I always tell people, if I could give you one tool for your ascension, for your enlightenment, it would be get present and allow this sacred heart to receive more light from your spirit, because it is the great downloader. It will take this very high frequency of your being in, and it will send it out into the whole rest of your being, and it will help again upgrade and clear and integrate. Ah, that's so nice. And another great integrator is the belly button. So let's put our left hand or non-dominant hand either right over the belly button, or I like to put my thumb right in the belly button and just tiniest press down on the lower edge. For me, that kind of links into me relaxing my second chakra. So the second chakra is the water, and I'll let it flow.
Mm.
And I have some meditations if you want to text me. Uh, that's in the link. It's a US number and a Bay Area number, 415. Anyway, I have some meditations that assist this flow. It's called mountain meditation. I also have something that helps you find the earth. It's called fearlessness meditation. And yeah, several other. A lot of them are on my LinkedIn also. Heart opening meditation. Yeah, lots of goodies. Good. Okay, just take another moment. Just go back to your rhythm. Just let yourself soften. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna yeah, do two more little things here. Um, One is I notice that when people are in a big ego dissolution, they start thinking, and it's really dissolving that idea of what are other people thinking about them,
Hmm.
because it it creates a I don't know what the uh,
I would
dis
say
dysphagia,
disbeliefs
yeah,
in our face.
discombobulation,
We can
yeah,
feel it, can't we? So we think
yeah.
everyone else must see it.
Yeah, because you're literally jumping out of your own core to
Mm.
think about, to project, to imagine, and you lose yourself, and that creates fear, right?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So people are looking at what other people think of them because really they're looking at what do they think of them. You know, I often say, it's like the puzzle of your persona got thrown into the air. And
Mm.
now you're going through it piece by piece. Like, is this really me? Or is this what my mom wanted me to be? Is this really me? Oh, I got this from my dad, but actually, I love this. This matches my frequency. I
Mm.
want to keep this one. So we're defining. And so here is a great tool for that period. Best done curled up in bed, but we're going to do it here. Is we're going to put our hands on our face.
Mm.
And again, focus on just the coziness, the warmth. Put your hands anywhere. It might be more your jaw, or it might be forehead and chin, whatever really feels the best. But what you're going to do with the hands is you're going to comfort, and you're going to let the face relax. And ultimately, that comfort and warmth will undo the muscles of the face that are literally holding your persona, your projection, your, ego attachment to being a certain way. And if you can feel the energy that's there, from the top of your head down to your throat where you swallow, sometimes that's called the cave of Brahman, that you
Oh.
want to focus in there and let that light start to come out towards your hands. And you're letting the old musculature and energetics of posing melt, and the real self that comes, through you from your spirit, the frequencies of your essence being that's been with you since you came out of the infinite, will start to saturate into your face and your ears and your chin and your throat. And so you can just imagine, so it takes a while, that you're going to not put on another mask. that you're going to
Wow.
walk around in the world being so beautiful, being so soft, being so essence you, being so strong. We hide our strength also. And that slowly but surely, this, meditation with the face will dissolve anything that's not really you, that you again, put on from fear and um, desire to please and all those other reasons that
Mm.
we put on, some type of personality story. Yeah, you look really pretty, Caroline Mary. You look like
Oh,
yourself now.
bless your heart.
You
I can
do,
feel the tension. I've
right?
just been going through dentistry work, and I know, they're like, "Oh, you eat too much sugar." I'm like, "Oh yeah, if only that was the story, like the one thing." Yeah, of course, it's just that. And I'm like, "Oh, geez, it's like past life trauma." And, blah, blah, blah. And I know it's masking. You're lying through your teeth, right? There's a saying there. It's not a mistake because constantly. And ringing in my ears is what you said right at the beginning, who you think you have to be and the what you came in to learn about. So for me, speaking your truth, teach like I'm teaching, which feels like the complete opposite of teaching, being part of these shows, complete opposite of what I grew up with. Don't say anything, you don't know anything, you're just the kid, la 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 la. So yeah, I could feel all of that, like, oh, hello. I think I'll be doing this later on.
Yeah, yeah, and a good adjunct to it for some people who are ready, we don't want to force this, is some, toning for ourselves. Some type of just so I'm gonna make two tones for me and then I'm gonna make two tones for you.
Mm,
So I don't try, I just trust the channel.
mm.
So I just take a breath and tones come. So here's two tones for Aureya, for for Aureya's heart.
Oh.
So once we make a tone, we want to just sit in it because sound lasts. We just want to let it melt into us. So now here's a couple for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sound is just one of those sweetnesses we've lost in our cultures
Mm, mm.
that we really want back.
They were so perfect. And the lower one was like this warmth on my heart, and the slightly higher one was warmth here, which is where some of that tension was. Well, when we did that, and I just put my thumbs in the back there. So yeah, just absolutely perfect. Thank you, Ray.
Yes, and they're always perfect. Our channel is brilliant. It's God. It's so knowing. Yeah. Okay, so one other little thing and then our last comments. So I'm also finding that in the endocrine system, which is the place where we used to receive our light before the Sacred Heart opened in the, human evolution.
Okay.
And so pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, thyroid, thymus, and I'm going to go down through the rest. Physical heart, stomach, spleen, pancreas, adrenals, kidneys, sex organs. So all of that is part of our endocrine system. So I'm going to do just the first three, And then you're going to invite that light to keep going down. And I have the little meditation as a guided meditation if anybody wants it. Just text me, call me, give me a message, give me your email, I'll send it to you. But anyway, right. So what I find is that all of us, including our organs, including our endocrine organs, are at some frequency that matches the mass population
Mm, okay.
because we're down here eating the food and thinking with the others, and that every organ in our system wants to upgrade into our frequency, into
Mm,
our essence frequency. Even our limbs, like often people's arms, are in the frequency of their job.
okay.
And I always have people like lift their arms and their hands and let the light come in the palms and invite the arms to drop out
Mm,
those heavier old, frequencies that aren't matching us. So anyway, we're going to go to the pineal. So to find these organs, you just say the name of them. Like your being is super smart. Your guides that are right here with you whenever you're doing light work are super smart. If you say pineal, everyone's going to go there.
mm,
So we're going to say to ourselves pineal,
mm,
and then we're going to breathe in the light from the universe, from our higher self, from our guides, from the planets we hail from. And imagine just it's sort of like a little cupping of light around that pineal gland. And then we're going to talk to the pineal gland and we're going to say, you, we're giving you permission, we're requesting that you drop out the programming that you've just been in and allow yourself to upgrade frequency to the highest frequency that will work in this body at this time. So we're letting that light come in, we're cupping this little pineal, we're breathing there, we're imagining, we're breathing right with it, we're telling it, let go, whatever programming frequency you were in, and allow yourself to let this light in and frequency upgrade a little bit faster, a little bit brighter, a little bit freer. Oh, wow, that feels good. Okay.
mm, mm.
Okay, awesome. So we always want to thank these little organs. They're literally like little animals. They want praise, they want to be talked to. So thank you, pineal gland. You did great. Now, pituitary, straight down from the top of the head. You just say to yourself, pituitary. You breathe in the light around it. You imagine that you're making a little egg of light. And then you talk to it. Hello, pituitary gland. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We love you.
We love
We're
you.
inviting you now to just sort of take off the old coat that you don't need anymore, the old frequency of kind of battling in this earth density, and all of the chemicals you've taken in and all the negative thoughts, all of it. We're just asking you to take that coat off and feel into this light. Breathe in this light. We're giving you total permission to frequency upgrade to the highest frequency that feels really good, feels like it works with the pineal. Oh, yeah, that's better. And a few breaths. And if you feel yourself in any light meditation getting lightheaded or shaky, you want to wiggle your hands, fingers, and wiggle your feet and toes and roll your jaw. And that'll get you back into your body. Very good. So let's go back to that pituitary. Let it receive a little bit more and then thank it. Thank you so much for letting yourself change. Good job. Okay, last one. So I think it's attached right there to the pituitary, but right behind it, toward the
Mm.
back of your head, is the hypothalamus. So just say to yourself, hypothalamus, same process. I'm going to let you do it yourself. Yes, very, very good. So take a couple of cleansing and integrating breaths, and your head is probably buzzing. Maybe your forehead is buzzy. Those are the chakras opening. Yeah, so feeling your feet in your hands. If you need it, find a rhythm. You could pat a rhythm on your thigh with your hand, or, anything that feels good will get you integrated. Sacred Heart will get you integrated. Belly button will get you integrated. Breathing will always get you integrated. Rhythm will always get you integrated.
Mm.
Yeah. So, those of you at home who like this, just reminding you, you can do this anytime for yourself, and you can go all the way through the endocrine system. You just Google it, it'll tell you all the organs. You can just go through them and let them all upgrade like this. Tremendous for your hormonal health. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's so good, right? It's so easy
It's
and so
just,
good.
yeah, it's such a beautiful reminder. I have often had resistance to supplements and kind of, da 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 da, because this energy stuff, it's heals on such a deep level. It's quantum level. It just upgrades. It's not you
Yeah,
have to do this and this and this, the hard lifting, which, if you see things on the just a physical level, to me, it's on a quantum level, it's just clean, install a more pure. Like I had this years ago that divine light is intelligence. So if you let it come in, it will create from perfect intelligence. It's not,
exactly.
if you only work on the, well, I've eaten this or I should eat this, it's like it's a different way, isn't it? So thank
It
you.
is.
It's such a good reminder, and it's a reminder also because I keep saying, if there was one meditation that I would create, it would be a body scan where you just keep telling each part of you how much you love it, and the
Yeah.
softening and the presence. And I will put that on my, yes, I'm going to do that soon, because it's just so profound when you give yourself permission to receive in that way, isn't it? So
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, and this, I just want to repeat that the sound healing for self-care is
Mm.
the same. It has the perfect intelligence. It
Hmm.
will vibrate you perfectly.
Yes. And it
Yeah.
actually, when we were talking earlier, I remembered I've played music since I was a kid, and I'm sure it helped my, I want to say it kind of, you might say, early awakening, enlightenment phases, because
Yeah.
I was sat playing this beautiful classical music. I played the piano or playing orchestra, and it was just, I never was thinking, I was never worried. I was so present. I was just so in kind of like rapture in a way, in the same way as when
Yeah.
you go into nature, this music would just be just through me and in me, and playing it, and it was just like, yeah, being in this amazing state. And I haven't played music so much as an adult, and it's kind of funny because it's like, oh, this is what it's like when you don't play music regularly or have it through you. It's good to have experienced the textures, but it's definitely a reminder to very much bring it more back, even if it's
Yes.
just simply singing and toning.
It's, I believe, hidden. It's hidden from us,
Mm, mm,
sound. It's been
mm.
like there's almost like a blanket over it.
Dukane, iya kita,
Like
yeah.
it's hard to pierce through that and give it to yourself again.
Yeah, older higher. Yeah. And what's coming to mind is for me, older cinema. One is I kind of got wrapped up in, the people pleasing and all the stuff and needing to fit in, all those personas, and that kind of went away. And so, and in sometimes I was listening to very discordant music, and it's kind of a form, and I would dance a lot, always dancing. But then I'm plugged from that into, well, what do I need? I wanted silence and the calm. But actually, what's really loud is one of the levels, one of the rocks that I've knocked on recently is a nun self or a very religious self, and really having to kind of just sit with and be present to the no sex, no this, no freedom, no, and it's really strong. It's obviously quite a deep layer that I hadn't seen, and it's like, oh, it's loud. That's loud because it's like, oh, that's there must be some program in there that was, you don't play music, you don't sing, you don't be excitable, you don't express yourself, and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. It's like because I know it's present because it's like a cloud. I always liken true self, sky mind, clouds is and it feels like it's a present cloud. So I'm currently learning all there is about, about that one because it is like having a form of like amnesia for a while because it's like I forget all the things that I might do quite easily. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The
Yeah,
inner and the outer, the journeys.
yeah. So, um, we were talking, and I just want to bring this out to complete
Mm,
that, going through these ego layers that are, they're dense and they hurt our hearts, and, we have such a hard time remembering, ourselves. We can get very pushy with ourselves and feel like we have to figure it out
mm,
ourselves.
mhm,
And I think it might have been Einstein who said you can't solve a problem from the energy of the problem.
mm, mm,
Um, but what my dear friend had instilled in me is he would say when I was getting that scowl on my face and, oh, I just have to do it, I have to figure it out. He would just say, Aureya, grace, it will do it.
mm,
You know,
mm,
it's you, your only job is to allow
mm.
the grace.
Oh God, I love that. And let go and let God is coming to mind because
Yes.
it's true. I have a whole list of things that I know will happen in the fullness of time, shall we say like that. And I could want to say I've got to do all this stuff, and it's like no, because the minute I actually sit and it's the right time, there's no challenge. It just it will happen. But if I think of the things and think, yeah, the frown will come. So thank you so much. It's such a good reminder because I mean that book, it felt like it just grace came through and it felt resonant, I guess that's why I could land it. Um but yeah, it just there was no force, there was no effort. It's just it just came out, and that's if you've got creative things going on, people do take heed like I need to. Let it just move with grace. Yeah. That's so beautiful, Aureya.
Yeah.
Oh, Aureya, thank you so much. I feel thoroughly uh, enveloped in so much love and warmth and kindness and compassion and that grace, isn't it? Oh, thank you so much. Mm. Do you have a last snippet that you'd like to share? A last nugget,
Well,
viewers?
I'll just go back to um, the idea of that we're lighting up the core.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And any ways that we have, you called it kinks,
Mm,
veils between the chakras is is a creation that we could come down here and experience being separate.
mm,
It was
Yeah.
on purpose that
Yeah.
we had those veils,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and that our systems are made to go back to the unity.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
That really, it's mostly intention and prayer that will get you there.
Oh,
You
I
know,
love that.
like
You know,
pure intention and asking for, help.
help. Yeah.
Yeah. And our system, like the ego is it's a limited entity. There's only so many egoic rocks that you took on.
Mm,
And then it's gone. And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
with intention and prayer, there's just the flow. There's just the love.
Oh, I love that. That is so much hope right there. And then what's coming to mind is the curriculum. We have a personal curriculum, and that landed. I kind of always felt a bit of that sense, because I always believed in pre and past lives and things, but it really landed with the Course in Miracles. And it was just so, yes, thank you. This is the permission I needed to be. Yes, somebody else is saying this too. And it's okay if you're going through struggle and you think, what is wrong with me? Nah, you just chose that. You chose those lessons. And the quicker we ask for that help, the quicker we compost, if you like, and come back and bring the light in and bring the enlightenment in. So, and you're doing on behalf of everyone. So yeah, just good to be reminded of that if you're feeling the ruffles as we talked about. So thank you so much, Aureya. It's been absolutely beautiful. And
You are
please, if
so
you're
welcome.
watching, oh bless you. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
gorgeous. If you're watching and you would like to connect with us, all the details will be below, and do reach out to Aureya and receive some of those beautiful gifts from her that she's offered you. And I will put all the timestamps on so you can go back and you can choose one tool at a time and really practice it. We kind of skirted through a lot of tools, but it really will be beneficial, and I certainly will, choose one and just practice it and see what that brings up for you, and take your time. If you want to reach out and something's coming up for you, get in touch and we'd be so happy to hear from you. So thank you so much. We'll see you again, and very well, be next month now on Enlightenment Essentials and regular Ascension TV online soon. So bless you all, and we'll see you again soon.